When ice melts in your drink, the water level in the glass doesn't rise. Think about that on a global scale. When you mix an uneducated conservative with science, you get smacked with this kind of immense stupidity. You ever wondered why the educational system in the United States sucks ass? Well, let me enlighten you on the fact that how the United States educational system has been neglected for decades, centuries. The United States, as a developed country, is 11th in education, 17th in reading, and 20th in science. But we're the greatest country in the world, remember that. And you think those guys that represent us in Congress actually give a about our educational system? Dude, they're more worried about women's bodily autonomy. You think they care about the average citizen? Didn't Florida just say that slavery was beneficial to black people? That's what they're more worried about. What they want are obedient workers, someone that can follow a schedule, someone that knows the standard of 9 to 5 and is not complaining about it. And remember, that's all high school was as well. All they wanted to do is teach you how to keep a schedule during a certain period of time, and maybe sometimes how to do improper fractions. But tell me the last time you used improper fractions in your everyday life. I'll wait in the comment section. Students for Liberty said, bruh, when someone praises socialism. Owl expert here, ornithologist. That owl is in fact orgasming. Orgasming right in your faces. And are you actually comparing socialism and science? How can you compare socialism and science when you have no idea what socialism is? Which in fact means you don't know anything about science. Honestly, this owl's facial expression is my facial expression every time you mother compare communism to socialism. I actually went and snoped this meme to see if it's real, and this isn't even an owl orgasming, dude. I was confused by this meme, so I went and did my own research, and come to find out, we don't even know much about owls orgasming. We don't know much about animals orgasming, period. And literally, you can use this meme for anything. The face you make when you finally drop that Mongo Duke you've been holding for hours.
Excuse me.
Even that worked. Do you remember when we treated viruses with soup, vitamin C, and plenty of rest instead of communism? Communism again. Also, nice Aryan girl in the background, man. Nice little touch there. What do viruses and communism have anything to do with each other? Let me tell you something, man. You remember the polio virus? Yeah, you ran to those lines, waited hours to get that vaccine because you didn't want to get paralyzed. I bet vitamin C and plenty of rest wouldn't cure polio. And instead of worrying about communism, worry about the actual virus we have here called capitalism. It's eating us all alive and we're allowing it. In fact, capitalism is more than a virus. It's actually a poison that's toxified this whole damn country. I heart science. Natural selection. This is unfair! Natural selection is unknown to right-wingers. They have no clue what the definition of natural selection is. Because instead of actually talking about natural selection, you chose racism. And yeah, it's natural selection that us white people have all these nice things, you know, like this armor and this nice long metal sword I can swing and smack all you peasants around. Okay, colonizer, you know what? Let's make this natural selection, you say, fair. Why don't you give those knives and those shields and those spears you have to the indigenous people in front of you and fight like men? Don't you guys like being real men? Why don't you give them some swords and fight like men, as I said? Because you think that nature has selected you for being white to get all these good things, to get these swords and spears so you can attack indigenous people. You think indigenous people are beneath you because nature selected you to be better? And the person that made this meme is nothing but a little racist. I'm eating the bugs to change the weather. Eating bugs stops the weather. What the Bugs? Eating bugs changes the weather? What is this hippie shit? Of course, I went and looked it up. This is from World Economic Forum. Apparently, eating bugs can help the continued rise in climate change, which is an absolute fact, by the way. Climate change is happening right now as you're watching this video. It seems as if eating certain bugs will not only give you a great source of protein, ew, but also help slow down the climate from freezing or burning us to death. Look, man, I'm a climate change activist. I absolutely believe, let me stop playing. I don't believe. I accept it as fact that climate change is real. It's happening right now as I speak. But I don't know about this one. I might actually have to say hard pass on eating bugs, man. that. Look, I'm willing to help any way, shape, or form. I really am, but not this way. When ice melts in your drink, the water level in the glass doesn't rise. Think about that on a global scale. Yeah, no Sherlock. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the educational system in this country is absolutely neglected and flawed. Flawed to no end. Cause the stupidity within our educational system, the that they teach you, does not help you in life. This person proves it. Also, this person votes. This person that made this meme walks into a booth every 2 years and votes against women's rights. This is so dumb, it hurts. Comparing a glass of water with a piece of ice on a global scale, a big massive piece of glacier, to a glass with a piece of ice in it. Yes, it sounds that stupid. Please know this, my friends. The comparison between these two is astronomically dumb. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know how to explain this to you scientifically. But I will tell you this. There is a vast difference. It has something to do with the density between the salt water and the fresh water, where the iceberg has its own weight in the salt water. The website that I just shared with you says it all. Go check it out, read about it, educate yourself. Just like my boy Lee says, education is elevation. This is actually scary that people don't know this. It terrifies me that people think this is bullshit. This is why I don't have any children. I don't want them to live on this planet with these people. There's a word for this. Brainwashing. Propaganda. So one map displays heat and color and the other does not. Propaganda? Where's the propaganda? You think this kind of is propaganda but systemic racism isn't? That's how far we've come as a species, my friends. My God. You would rather believe this weather heat propaganda, as you call it. But January 6th was not ignited because of propaganda. That isn't propaganda to you people. Let that sink in. I work at AMC and just got fired for refusing to add this liquid to a customer's soda. We were instructed specifically to serve this to Sound of Freedom audiences. I'm a microbiology student and I took this to the lab to examine and found what looks like nanobots inside. Johnny 5? Is that you? Yeah, we got Johnny 5s floating in our blood. And yeah, nanobots. Of course y'all believe in nanobots. Y'all believe in God. Why wouldn't you believe in nanobots? And you lost me at the Sound of Freedom. Yeah, talk about propaganda. Yeah, I don't think January 6th was ignited by propaganda, but you believe the Sound of Freedom. And the dude that funded this movie just got arrested for, get this, child kidnapping. And because this meme is science-based and I don't trust a word these people say when it comes to science and their little science facts, I actually took my time to Snopes this meme. And guess what? It's bullshit. This never happened. Gullible, small-minded right-wingers are just trying to scare other gullible, small-minded right-wingers into believing this shit.
Take care, JP. Please sit on my face.
It is very normal to have heat domes over Texas in early July. I've lived in Texas for almost 30 years and have seen hotter summers than this one. The only thing new about it is more people from northern states have moved here in the last 5 years, and they are now realizing how hot it is. Blaming our heat on climate change is catastrophizing something that isn't real to create financial gain for your cause. Just stop the craziness, please. If you haven't recognized or felt the fact that it actually has gotten hotter and colder since the 90s, then I don't know what planet you're living on. We understand that Texas is hot. We're just saying that it's unreasonably hot. So hot that you're sweating your balls off. And didn't you almost freeze to death in 2021? You had a blizzard come through, almost freeze you guys to death. That's also climate change. Texas, I guess all the racism inside kept you guys warm. You guys are close to the equator, which means you should be hot. Of course. But when you have a blizzard going through your area, that's climate change. I'm repeating myself. You have to repeat yourself to these people, Ghost. You have to. Even your Senator Ted Cruz said, F this shit, I'm out, man. I'm going to Cancun. Cancun cruise. And because of these reasons, I hate the word global warming. It's misconstrued completely. Climate change is much better. We should normalize saying climate change. Get rid of this global warming shit. These people are taking this shit literally. But here's my question of the week. Do you accept climate change as a fact? Leave your thoughts below and I'll see you there. But check out how incels are still not getting any. Right here. And if you can, please, friends, support the channel on Patreon. If you're enjoying the content, come get early access. I'll leave those links right here and in the description below. I hope to see you there. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for weekly leftist videos. And I am out.